Hi there. In this video we'll be taking a look at this EINHELL Te-RS 18 lithium solo, because it comes without a battery. Bring your own battery and charger. So this in itself from the start is a cordless rotating sander. There's a lot of debate online if this thing actually rotates or not. Some say it only vibrates and moves a little bit. This shouldn't be an orbital sander. This shouldn't be moving only. It should be fully rotating. That's what I wanted to buy, and that's why what it says in here. We'll see if it actually does full rotations. In here what you can see, it kind of also shows only vibrations, so, and movement from one side to the other. The diameter of it 125 millimeters. So I'm not quite sure who is right. Some say it's rotating, some say it's not. I think we will see right here. Let's see. Speed control, the tool to particular material. Dust extractor, okay. One sheet of abrasive paper, yeah. And that's gonna last a lot, isn't it? Anyway, it's quite confusing. It says rotating, but who was right? So let's get into the box. We are going to be taking a look at this a bit later. It seems we have two things in here. One is safety instructions, decently thick, and operating instructions. And cordless eccentric grinder. It was rotating on the box, wasn't it? Rotating. So is it eccentric, or is it rotating, or is it actually both at the same time? We have the switch right here under a rubber, which is good because this will be in full sand. So the switch wasn't happy about not sawdust, not sand, wasn't happy about that, but the motor itself, the cooling part, it's going to get all of it, and hopefully it can spit it out without issues. Here we have the maximum rotation speed or the minimum, and I still hope this is fully rotating. At least by hand it is. But who knows when itself is doing the thing. Rubber skirt in here. This is foam. And it's absolutely Velcro. Quite good Velcro. And it's important to align the holes. If you watch online, there are a few people that have done some tests, and if you have the holes aligned and have a vacuum connected right here, the sawdust gets drawn and pushed out, and it does not remain in here, creating a layer and slowing down your sanding. So make sure you get your holes aligned. You can see it's not that easy, but it is doable. This kind of does feel a tiny bit flimsy, honestly, in here, but I don't think it will be a problem. Yes, in itself, it has, you can see the blades right there. So in itself creates air movement, so it can gather the sawdust in here, which then you can simply empty. Is this somehow removable and you can take it out? I don't think you can take this out in any way, so you just empty it and then go again. But if possible, I think I would actually connect to it directly a vacuum and pull even more out of this. By registering your serial from this on the EINHELL website, you get 3 years of warranty. which is kind of awesome, honestly, these days. If you want, and the EINHELL lineup is bigger every day, which I like. I want to put a battery in here and start. It's fairly heavy, but and it's fairly big, honestly. I don't know why I had the impression it will be something like this. No, this looks like a good tool. I like how I can handle it. For my hands, it's perfectly fine. It's exactly how it should be. And I think you can work or no, I think this is okay. Yeah, I like it, honestly. I really do like it. Let's put something on it and see this vibrates or rotates. At the moment I'm going to put a small 2.5 amp hour battery. I have 4 amp hour, 6 amp hour, 8 amp hour, but just for our test does not matter at all. And yeah, let me see how I can hold this. Get ready for some noise, and I'm going to power it on and see if we can figure out if it's rotating or not. So from what I can see here, I think this is an orbital sander. It does seem to have sort of a function to rotate, but it's not directly driven, so you can actually hold it with your hand. I thought it's not going to be this obvious, but it is. It does rotate, but you can stop it. And it's, yeah. But it does want to rotate in the same direction, but we are at speed 1, so yeah, we can go much higher, but it will probably be noisier, so I'm going to stop talking and just increase the speed and see what happens. Okay, so I think it has sort of a clutch in here, and my watch ringing. It has sort of a clutch, a slip clutch. So on higher speed, you can see here between 3 and 4, it's much harder to hold it. So at low speeds, it's trying to rotate, but not a lot. If you increase the speed, it will also rotate and not just vibrate. So it is a rotating one. It's also an orbital one. So, or eccentric, or whatever it's actually called. So at the end of the day, everybody was right, but why didn't everybody test this to actually make sense? I'm going to speed it up to maximum to see what. Again, I will stop talking because it will be really loud. I can stop it if I insist, but it hurts my hand. So it does try to rotate at higher speeds, but I think this is the clutch that we are hearing here. It's basically friction based, the rotation, so it's not being directly driven to rotate. Which I think at the end of the day, it's both of best worlds. Although I have not played with such a tool too much. Let's not put this on the table directly. So I will continue this video when I have something to do with it. Let me just check something. How much air? I know it puts out a lot of air through these holes, but how much air does it put through this one? But why does it put so much through the other? Will actually suck air and blow it, or maybe it's a different level from which it's blowing into this. I think it's a different level. Just look at it. Here, let me move this light. Here we are closed, and I think there's also something below it. Yep, there's something below it. So there are two layers of blades. A top layer for cooling and a lower level for pushing sawdust, sucking it through here and pushing it out through here. And also it has cooling in here because I think this is a brushed motor. This is not a brushless tool as far as I'm aware. So yeah, okay. That's actually interesting, and it seems to have here two speeds. One might be for rotation, one for vibration, or I have no freaking clue. Maybe manual will help us a bit more with this. You can see the state of charge of the battery itself. It is a bit of a weird angle for the battery to be in, but seems to do the job. Yeah, so let's just take a quick look at the manual, and then I'm going to start using this tool these days and get back to you, obviously. If you want to read the safety instructions, here they are. Feel free to pause at any moment. Hopefully you can see them. Honestly, they make sense, and it would be best to read them if you have time. It's for your own good. But now, and just drop something, let's take a look at the manual. And we are in, it's so annoying that this got bent so badly. And it seems this is how you might get yours also. It's making so much noise because it's bent. So where does it start in English? Here is still German. And we have English, and can you see the whole page? Yeah, I think you can. 18 volts, idling speed, 7,000, 11,000, okay. Grinding area, oscillating speed, 14 to 22,000 oscillations, okay. 2 millimeters movement of the oscillation. Yikes. Noise, right here. Vibrations. And here charging the batteries. This is standard for all of the tools. Maintenance, cleaning, charge indicator. Okay. They put this in every single manual, but normally you should have this in the charger manual. I don't know why they put it for all of the tools everywhere. It just makes the manuals bigger. And I think, yeah, we have finished the English. So that's about it for this manual. It is rotating, but it's not its main function. So it's not working just by rotation. It's also vibrating and rotating, and for me that kind of makes sense because the vibrations strip the most of it, do not dig as easy as rotating, because rotating can dig more. That's my understanding, my logic at least. I hope I'm not wrong. So the rotation is mostly to not wear out the sandpaper in a certain area. It makes sure it wears it evenly. So I think this is actually good, but yeah, remains to be seen when I start to use this thing more. If you want to also see this, because they are referenced by numbers in the rest of the manual, here they are, but it's so self-explanatory if you ever used EINHELL tools that basically it almost doesn't matter that it's here or not. Just in case you never used EINHELL tools, to remove the battery, obviously push on this, it unlocks, and you can lift it out of here. And if you want to use a vacuum, just rotate this and make sure your vacuum fits. I think EINHELL shop vacuums fit this without any issues. but this might be just enough. We'll see when we use it. Time has come to use this thing to clean some pieces of wood to reinforce this speaker. These are mostly okay, but still have some areas that need to be cleaned, so I can glue them, something like that for reinforcement. Obviously I need to remove that piece of glue in there, but that's another issue. I can also do that with this. First, starting with the non-drilled thing, because these are fairly small, so there's not the whole surface is occupied, so debris can go out by themselves. No point in using the drilled ones and wearing them out where I don't need to. So let's do it and see how it works. It's doing its thing. For what I need, it's really fine. It's better than I need just to glue some pieces in place. And obviously I will also grind down these edges because I want to repaint this whole thing, and that will be done with this type. So yeah, now let's put some glue and strengthen this speaker. But this thingy, it's doing what it needs to do, and it is also rotating for sure. But it's also spreading the dust everywhere, so don't really do it inside because it cannot gather it as long as this thing does not basically have properly holes in here. I think it also draws air through here, honestly, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah. Anyway, working really well, and I'm going to show you that it actually draws air through that gap by suctioning the dust in here. But I will not be talking because this will be really freaking loud with the vacuum going and itself going. Just want to tell you, with a big battery like this, the 4 amp, this is freaking heavy. And if you don't have a full surface, if you are working on something like this and you're trying to also balance it to not destroy the corners, it's gonna be fun on your wrist. When you are putting it on a full surface, that's better. But yeah, it's freaking heavy. It's working well. I'm cleaning more and more of these pieces of wood. Also want to mention it has access to press the button to see how much battery you have left. Nice of them to do that. And it doesn't make dust. As long as you connect something like that to it, this thing is freaking perfect. And yes, in a random shop somewhere you could use only this and might be plenty. But I want to make sure I don't get any dust out, because this is my YouTube filming area basically, and I don't want to fill everything with wood dust. And I'm going to start doing the initial sanding on these things. I want to see how flat is everything before I start filling stuff up even more. Maybe I will even try to peel this edge, because I have a feeling that this edge is higher than the other. Yeah, it's for sure higher. So I might want to peel this edge if it's peelable. If not, I need to sand through it. Also a possibility, we'll see. Anyway, this is what I have. Probably I will change it to one with holes. Not much coarser than this, I think. But we'll see. We'll see. I will just see how it goes. This is a bit off center because I modified my vacuum to have this, so it's a bit annoying. I need to also hold on to that to give it a nice flat surface, but I think we can deal with this. So let's see what we managed to do. Just as a start, for about 2 minutes of work, this is working incredibly well. Yes, I need to go a bit deeper, although this is the bottom, so I don't know if I'm going to attempt to fully remove this scratch. Maybe I'm using a bit of a thicker paint that will remain a bit matte and with some dimples. I have no clue how to call them. So maybe it will even cover this, but I don't care because it's bottom. So yeah, but this thing is working beautifully even with this without holes. I'm going to try the one with holes and see how that is, but on a different, maybe on this one. I'm going to go with 240 because I don't have 180 in the variety with holes in it. I'm expecting this to make even less dust all around, although this one hasn't made that much dust just by gathering the output on the edge. But when I go over the edge, I see a bit of it falling. So maybe this won't even have that because it's collecting in the middle also. We'll see, who knows. Let me try and get back to you. Obviously align the holes with the ones in the machine because otherwise you are not using them. And yeah, we need to send out the bunnies and the hearts that my youngest daughter made. But we have them on video, so they will be kept for posterity. That's the term. Anyway, let's get to work. Okay, so in my point of view, we have the winner. There is absolutely no dust whatsoever falling even when I go over the edge, because it just draws all of it in and into this vacuum. So if you need to work inside or something like that, or you just don't want dust all over, this is the perfect thing. It will suction all of it inside of it. Yes, I need to do a bit more work for the same effect on as this one because it's just a bit finer what I have the sandpaper, but doesn't matter honestly. But you do feel that it's finer, so that's not necessarily a lose, let's say like that. Yeah, okay, I can get behind this thing. I understand their purpose now. It's just to evacuate dust much better. Also keeps this a bit cleaner in itself and doesn't trap dust between it and the workpiece, but keeps your work place much cleaner in my opinion. Just by a few minutes of using this, I understand, and I will try to buy mostly that type. So yeah, now let me have fun with these two on all sides. This is going really well. Yes, it takes a bit of time to get rid of that paper and make everything at the same level. I still have this channel to fill up a little bit, but this wood glue that I put all around, although it fills the channel and also has structural stability, it also fills this. That 8-81, the only one that I had that was basically with this in the package, is Gansky. So I went to 60 and it's starting to also fill up. So yes, try not to use this over wood glue because it will mess it up, but it is what it is. I did it, so too late now. I need to to clean this. And on the other one, I honestly think I'm going to use a knife to cut it, although I cannot because this part is below, this is higher, so I still need to grind it down up to this level. Yeah, I will mess a few of this up. It is what it is. Maybe I will reuse these two until they don't take anything out and only then put newer ones. Anyway, but it's coming along really nicely. So I'm basically grinding this down to the level of the face and everything will be in the same plane, and then a few good layers of paint and everything should be well and covered. Obviously I still need to fill this up with this type of thingy, the whitish part, but yeah, we'll do that also. This is freaking awesome. This surface is incredibly smooth all around. Everything is perfect, much better than I could ever do it by hand with any, I don't know, sanding block or whatever. So this thing is working absolutely perfectly, and I will buy this stuff with holes in it because it's much better. It's not making any dust, it's just drawing everything in that vacuum. It's perfect for me. Yeah, I do have plenty of these, so obviously I will use all of them, but new ones will be with holes from my side, that's absolutely clear. Just learned something new. This does not get gunked up from the wood glue that I used, so you can use it on that freely. It gets gunked up by the glue that is under this paper, and when we get through the paper we get to the glue and gunks this up. So yeah, it is what it is, but at least it's not the wood glue. It handles that perfectly. Just want to mention something else about this. It does not heat up. So you can work and work, you just change batteries, and you will be the limiting factor. It will not heat up. And yeah, that's about it for this video. I recommend you use it with a vacuum. You will not make dust. It's perfect. It's mainly oscillating but also rotating, so whoever said it's not rotating, either you have a faulty device or you were expecting it to do the sanding just by rotation. No, it oscillates and rotates. The rotation is basically just so you do not wear out this unevenly, but it's doing the sanding by oscillation, and that's about it. And I really freaking like what it's doing in here. So from my side, that's absolutely perfect. I have a lot of work remaining to do, so yeah, I see you in the next video. And again, I recommend this tool. I really like it. Ask in the comments how it fares over the years, but up until now I see no reason for me to change my opinion in any way. And yeah, it's not draining the battery extremely quickly, so that's also a bonus. Yeah, it drains it, but not like that. So yeah, again, see you in the next video, and bye.